Morning. I can tell I got that one going right now to warm this place up a little bit. It's not that bad. It's only 34 out. It's still above freezing. It's not all that bad. I'm waiting for that one to kick in now. Yeah, no, my stepson, my wife's former stepson, I should say. My wife was married before she married me. Unfortunately, the poor kid's father passed away a few years ago. But yeah, he come by, asked me for a hand on his car. I turned around, told him, I said, you gotta go get parts. You gotta get parts before I can work on it. And what I wanted is just a skid plate got pulled off earlier in a snowstorm, so he's been riding around without it. He wants to get it back on. It was no big deal. He just needs to get some fender washers because it pulled. Sorry. It's just a fabric skid plate, not even really a skid plate. So I pulled it out through the pulled it through the bolts. So you just gotta get larger get some fender washers to make it work. I said I got this place warming up back here a little bit. Still waiting on the truck to show up. Get that one cranked out real quick. Dump the oil, grease it, get it out the door. There, I got a car taken care of. Get the skid plate on there. Had to get those fender washers and some more screws. Hold it on. It's just molded fiber cloth. It's not really a skid plate. More look at almost like a diaper. I would call it an oil absorbent diaper. It ain't no skid plate. All right, I gotta go over the owner's house, grab the red and white Freightliner, bring it in here. We're gonna do an oil change on it. Whoa. The truck isn't here at his house. It must be over at the drop yard, which is only a half mile from the shop instead of 3.5 miles like his house is. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Found it. My drive over here to the shop, I think this truck's got a bad brake can because you step on the brakes and you hear it leaking air, so I gotta look into that too. I don't know if it's a brake can that has failed internally or this pressure relief valve has failed. But you step on the brakes, air comes out of that valve and out of the dash. I'm thinking it could be a can, but the cans aren't all that old. He had all 4 brake cans done at the same time. Could it be that valve? Maybe. Don't know, but here, listen. This is the seat. Don't worry about that. That's it. That hissing is the seat. But it's hissing up in the dash, and 99% of the time that I've worked on brakes, when I have air going back up into the dash, it's a brake can itself. But I can't find a leak on any of them, so I don't know. We're gonna dump the oil out of this right now. I'm gonna get the oil change taken care of first, and then we'll work on the brakes. All right. Time to get dirty. I'm gonna shed the jacket, so any oil that runs down my arm is gonna be on my arm, and it washes off easily than having to run this thing through the washing machine with Dawn dish detergent, try to get all the oil and grease and stuff off it. Oil changes on these trucks are pretty much the same as a car, except for it is a larger quantity of oil. This is gonna be a 10-gallon oil change, and most cars you'll see they have like a 15, 17, 20 millimeter. This is a 1/2-inch drive to remove it. Got a 1/2-inch brake bar here to get it freed up. Come on. These things, as I said, this is a 10. Oh, where's my oil sample bottle? I almost forgot that. Where is it? Right here. I'm gonna go have I'm gonna take a sample of the oil. I'm gonna have it sent off to a lab and tested, just to check for metals in the oil, any type of contamination. It should be nothing more than the normal wear and tear in the oil. This motor was freshly rebuilt. If there is any signs of any type of contamination that's outside of normal specs, means we gotta start getting ready, prepared for some stuff here. I just don't want to get oil all over the place. Alrighty, here we go. Oh, sorry about that. You want to drive? Take a little bit now. You want to get it just little samples along the way to get a full bottle. Took a little too much there. You want to get it towards the end of the oil too. Just little samples throughout the drain. Some guys will just grab some and go non-stop. That should be good. Yeah, see right there, right at the end of the drain. So, put the cap on this. I gotta grab a cloth, clean this up. Oh, actually, this paper towel is right there on the other end. This. I'm going to inspect the magnet on that oil plug I just pulled out. Right here. Yeah, there is some metal on the end of it, but it is nothing out of the ordinary. Doesn't look too bad. Nice clean magnet. She'll do this for a while. Motor's been running, so any oil that's at the top of it's kind of draining down. Put this back in here, snug it up, and then we're going to go over to the other side. There's two oil filters over there. Where'd that ratchet go? Right in. I decided to grab a ratchet to put it wrong way. You don't need to over crank these either from the seal. Go over that side. Oil filters. Yeah, it's got a 2 oil filter system on it. Right there. So we'll go pull those off and put the new ones on. Figures I bumped the light. And I'm on the wrong side. Open. So I can try to, I can. much of a mess am I gonna make trying to pull this one down? That's the worst part. Just the mess you make. Because these things full of oil are not very light. These are not your standard size automobile filters either. Right there. Phew, that was a close one. I almost made a mess out of that one. Alright, with the filter wrench go. I still got all I'm gonna do. I got one hand completely covered in oil already. Glove. Right. Let's get this pulled back a little bit. It completely covered my arm in oil. Alright, now I'm gonna fill, not completely fill, but I'm gonna put some oil in these filters. I mean, size of my head, size of the filters. I know I got a large head too, but alright, set this up and we're gonna add some oil. Me personally, I like filling them inside this. Only if I spill anything, it helps contain it in the box. It's not the greatest, but it's something. Now I'm gonna fill these about halfway. So I got some oil in the filters when I start the motor. A little oil here. Put it on the seals. As you use the old oil, I have not seen any difference between using the old oil and the new oil on these seals. It helps them seal on the motor so it doesn't leak. Saw how full that thing was. Now look how the levels dropped inside. It's because the oil has actually been absorbed into the filter material. So that'll help when I start the motor. And of course the oil pump will grab the oil out of the oil pan and push it up into these filters. So now the filters have got some oil in them. It'll help basically build pressure quicker. Some guys will fill the filters right up to the very top. I don't, because you saw the mess I made when I dropped the old filters off. I don't want to make a mess putting it back together, putting them on. I'm gonna grab a cloth because I gotta clean up the filter housing so that it's nice and clean for when I put these ones on. All right, let's get these filters on. And they only go on hand tight. I'm gonna try to get it where I'm not in your way and you're not in my way. I get this one towards the front of the truck taken care of first. Give me the filter. I want the filter. Thank you. Get on there, don't fight with me. There we go. Could I use a wrench on those, tighten them up a little bit? Yes, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna, now we gotta fill the oil pan with oil. Fill it with oil. Then when it runs, I'll check for leaks. If these are leaking, yeah, I might snug it up a little bit with a wrench, but that's it, just a little. Don't need to crank these things on tight. Same thing with on a car. They basically go on hand tight. You crank them on, that O-ring that you saw me put the oil on, you increase your chance of splitting those. And when you split those, you pump the oil out. If you're not paying attention, you wipe these things out. And again, to rebuild these motors, you're talking about $25,000 to rebuild. That's not replace. Replacements, yeah, you can get them cheap out of a junkyard, but then you don't know what you're getting. And brand new, you're talking 35, 40,000. Let's get over here and start filling it. Now on those oil filters, yeah, there is a little trick I could do to help reduce the amount of the mess. It's called take a punch a hole in the bottom of the filter, let it drain for a little while. I have done that. It works fine. It works great. It's just it's a little time consuming, and right now we're trying to get things done. I want to get back here on the back of the truck and find out what's going on with that air leak. So I don't want to screw around. Let's get this oil in and get it checked out. I'll bring you back after this. This is the boring part. There we go, 40, almost 50 pounds of oil pressure. All right, everything's taken care of there. It's all, oil's good. Oil level's good in the truck. Now I gotta transfer the oil out of this into those jugs. We've got a little pump there we use on the cordless drill. So I'm gonna, right here. Pump it out of that drain tray and put it in those jugs there so we can dispose of it properly. One end in there, and it doesn't like to, it likes to fight me. One end in there. Come Come on, get down in there. Stop fighting so much. Wrong way. Go this way with it. No, I had it right the first time. All right, I got this thing greased up as well. Not too impressed. The driver, who happens to be the owner's brother, they're supposed to grease these trucks every 2 to 3 weeks, and then when it comes in, I go right through, grease it with the oil change. Right here is a slip yoke. If you don't know what a slip yoke is, of course, the drive shafts on these things are real long, so as the suspension travels up and down, it's going to look perverted. But as a drive shaft, basically the rear end here goes up and down. As I said, it's going to look perverted, but it's not intended to be. There's where the U-joint is, the yoke. Right off of that, there's a little slip shaft. Well, the drive shaft comes down, slides over that, and in here. Now, as the rear end goes up and down, the truck suspension moves. It goes in and out. This one here, this slip shaft, took almost a quarter of a tube of grease. There's another one right there. That's for the jack shaft, or the front between the rear ends. Same idea, it's just a little smaller, just because the two rear ends will move a lot more. That took almost a quarter of a tube of grease. Wow, it shouldn't have taken that much. But it's all greased, oil's changed. That air leak decided to stop on its own. No idea. So, I don't even know what time it is. I'll tell you right now that all that grease in that slip shaft, slip yoke, or whatever you want to call them, that was not good. Oil's good, grease fully greased. I think this truck had 47 grease fittings, so we got all those. And when I say 47, that's, yes, on the yokes, on the U-joints on these things, it has two, one on each side. Sometimes you grease one side and it doesn't go all the way through to the other side, so I always grease on both sides of the U-joint, because there are some that actually grease fitting will only do two bearing caps, and the other two takes care of the other two on the other side. So I do both just to be safe. All right, I gotta check on a couple things here. Fifth wheel's greased, truck's greased, oil's changed. Fuel filter is fine. Air filter is fine, I checked that. Cabin air filter is good. For now, it's gonna need to be changed, so we're gonna order that. Don't mind me, I'm just trying to think. If I think of anything else, I'll bring it back. Well, I got the truck back where I picked it up. We are not done for the day. We're gonna go over and look at a oil transfer pump. Hopefully they have one. According to the website, they do. But yeah, it's a Harbor Freight motor oil transfer pump. It's nothing going to be no fancy. I don't know. It's one of those going to be a cheap one. Don't know if it'll last. But we're going to head over there and check it out. I might even stop by Napa on my way by to see if they have one. Napa would be a little bit better quality than Harbor Freight, but I say that I do have a Harbor Freight 1-inch impact gun at my house. I used on my trucks, and yeah, it works. It does. I have not had a problem with it, so I really can't put it down for that. But we're gonna head over Head over there and try to see if we can't find a transfer pump instead of that drill one. Because I don't know if I gave up or the pump gave up, but one of us gave up and said, done for the day. Well, I struck out at my local Napa. So there's one other place I forgot I can try out, and that'd be Tractor Supply. So I'll head out there and see if I can't find something. That phone likes to be rude at times, don't it? So I'll head out to Tractor Supply and see if they get something there. I'm not looking for no $600 pump. A $60 pump is more than enough. It's not like we use it all the time. We don't need something to transfer thousands of gallons a week. Just a few 10, 20 gallons and maybe 50 gallons in total a month, maybe, if that. I never did get a chance to show you this before I left, but I'm back here now. Had to bring the Kenworth in, park it inside. Tractor Supply did have some oil transfer pumps there, but when they're $300, as I said, we don't use them enough to justify that much money. This is all we got left for Vermont, and that's all we got for the Logik. That's the only pellets we have in this building right now. Yeah, she was a very busy woman today, and I'm not gonna call her a teenage girl. She stepped up. I was out back all day. Sounds like one of those fart cans. But anyways, she was a very busy woman today. She did a little over 5.5 tons of pellets, individual bags, out the door. She did like 278 bags today by herself. I never touched a bag on her. I mean, as I said, I was out back all day working on that Freightliner. Yeah, she was very, very good. As I said, she always steps up, and Saturdays I always buy her lunch. I treat her like she's my own daughter. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna call it a day. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, stay safe. I'll see you in the next one.